So, I want to talk about constant dripping wears the stone. Today, we're going to talk about how constant dripping wears the stone. For me, this is not just an empty phrase. This is a practical tool. When you put repeated effort and direct it towards something, you can feel a shift. When you put repeated and directed effort, even though it may be small, towards a resistance, then you will probably observe an effect. And I'm talking about a specific effect. At the same time, this effect can have a different meaning for you. So in the same way that you can hollow a stone by applying a repeated drip onto its surface, you could break through any obstacle, or you could create any structure. Each individual drop doesn't have a lot of strength on its own, but in combination, there is a much greater effect than what is apparent on first look. And when you use this metaphor for something in your life, then it's important to stay focused so you want to keep the stream or the drip in focus, so that you can keep holding it on the same point. And when you keep holding it on the same point, then it will become effective, but only then. If you let it out of your control and let it sprinkle all over the place, then you won't hollow the stone. So observe in your life where you are currently holding the drip steady, and remember sometimes when you lost focus, and when you keep your attention steady on the stream, observe how it might change. Maybe it starts picking up pace. Maybe drops will increase in size and power. And maybe the drip will form to a stream. Whatever you might observe, take a moment to stay with that. And the stronger the stream becomes, the easier it is to recognize. At the same time, the more careful you have to be to not lose control. So this metaphor applies to different areas. And observe the different streams also that are entering on your stone. Because not only are you creating a drip, also other drips are hitting on you. So I advise you to be cognizant of that. You don't want to be formed by random influences you have no control over. So take a moment to observe whichever streams may come up from this metaphor. And appreciate each one of them. And when you allow some time through your own volition, This is a powerful gesture to honor yourself, because you give yourself time. And you might notice the effect it has on you when you do that. Just observe it and allow it. Honor it. Make the conscious decision to allow it. And notice how it feels when you make this conscious decision and not just be a victim of random impulses. And take a moment to maybe appreciate what you've already achieved so far. It might not seem much, but it's more than we think. And the metaphor of the trip is very suitable indeed in this regard. That's when you know that's maybe when you start to connect the dots. Maybe not consciously at first, but on a deeper level first. And you might recognize how that creates a feel of expansiveness. This is always a sign that something is freeing up. So appreciate yourself, hold the space, for this freeing up, whichever form it might take for you. It might feel expansive, but it can also feel a bit grounded, because freeing up takes many different forms. But stay with what is present now. And get comfortable in the knowing. in the knowing that where you are currently is meaningful, not in the sense of information, but on a deeper level that is felt and not understood easily. Right now, maybe there wants to be some expression of spaciousness to settle. And check back into your body. Observe what is taking place. If you feel comfortable or restless, and remember the metaphor. And observe how you feel when you recognize the metaphor in some area. Observe the satisfaction that you feel when you recognize it, when you can recognize it. Maybe and when you've observed it or tried to observe it, then it's time to move on. Because something is telling you it's time to move on. And by staying attuned to those small signals, we become in sync with the higher powers or with the forces of life. And the idea of becoming in sync with the higher powers, observe how it's liberating, because you don't have to worry and stress so much about what your next step is, because when you become attuned to the forces of life, then you can go with the natural flow of life and notice how that has a sense of letting go of resistance and reduced friction and strain. And notice how good it might feel to let go of that struggle, of that burden. And when it's time, we should also think about coming to an end here in this session. So let's arrive back. Take note of our surroundings and then continue whatever we have to do. Thank you for watching and tuning in. See you next time.